Hi, my name is Dr. Gunarlin Shanmugam. At the moment, I'm working with Department of Veterinary Services with the Minister of Agriculture and Food. And at the moment, I'm in charge for livestock, and I've been have a bit of experience with dairy animals as well as the livestock here in Malaysia. For us, when we talk to most of the farmers, one of the challenges they are facing most of the time is feed, because the feed cost as well as the feed availability as well as the local resource. But the fortunate things about Malaysia industry is that we have a huge palm oil plantation where a lot of substance, a lot of hot food or hot the product from this industry actually can meant to be feed livestock. It can be beef, it can be dairy as well as small ruminants, even swine as well as poultry. So let me narrow down to dairy, because dairy is a huge industry here. Maybe it's not, it's not that contributing to the GDP, but still it's a huge, because 60% of the farmers are smallholders. When you talk about smallholders, these farmers are depending on cost of production. So when you talk of cost of production, 60% is coming from cost of feed. So one of the elements that the governments always look is into research and development of all palm based feed product. And definitely now today I think we are going to talk about bypass fat. Okay, before I talk bypass fat, let me review on current what they call the feed that's been used by the dairy farmers. We can talk in terms of commercial available feed like pelleted, dairy cattle pellet, palm kernel cake, palm kernel expeller. If you see the base of all this feed is actually all palm. So, but the extraction of this component from oil palm industries, not much has been known to the farmers. So slowly the government is working out the plan, the framework, how to benefit the industry as well as the oil palm product to the industry. So one of the things that I'm going to talk is bypass fat, where bypass fat actually is not digested in the upper alimentary tract. It will go into a lower alimentary tract. So there's a benefit, because the fat actually be absorbed or you can see the value or the increment in terms of the milk fat. Let's say you talk about dairy. Bypass fat actually is long chain fatty acid, and meant to be a dietary fat. It actually can what they call rich in calcium. Is filled with energy as well as help with the production and milk production, actually milk yield. And even a small amount of bypass fat actually there's a contribution to the milk fat and milk yield. And you can see this, even the performance of dairy animals get better. When we liaise with the farmers, when we talk to them, when we introduce the bypass fat, actually major portion you can see in terms of how the animal behavior. They eat more. You can see the consumption of feed. You can see the feed truck has been empty. So it's have a certain level of palatability to the bypass fat. And when you check the milk, because what happens that most of the farmers every 2 weeks we used to do samples, milk sample. So when we send, we even check for milk fat, we check for cell somatic counts, for preclinical mastitis, all those things. So there's a lot of improvements you can see. Maybe because of the animals always sustain a positive energy balance. So that contribute in terms of good production as well as good behavior in terms of eating pattern. I would say that the eating pattern get better when there's an inclusion of bypass fat in the feed. Of course, the feed formulation total mix ratio is there, but when you add this bypass fat, is enhance the feed quality. I would say point that I want to focus is heat stress. What happens that in our climate, when we buy those imported animals, let's say from Australia animals, Friesian Saiwa or Friesian JC, what we have is that we can't produce or we can't perform as good as the animal genetic meant to be, because what happens that the animals come down with heat stress. So when there's a usage of bypass fat, you'll actually contribute to reduce the heat stress in the animal. So these are the things that we are looking closely. And other than that, of course, when you see the lactation curve, most of the animals, when the lactation curve, when the graph is going up, when the milk yield is going up, most of the animals come sudden or they come down with a rapid milk decrease. So when there's addition of milk fat because of positive energy balance, you can see the lactation curve actually slowly coming down. This means most of the farmers have sustained in terms of milk yield for the 270 or 290 days. So it's a good thing for the farmer because they can produce more, and again the animals didn't really go down, you know. And of course, when you see the second lactation and the third lactation, the animals actually consistently performing better. So it means that there's a positive energy balance actually contribute for performance of this animal. And per se, when you see that there's an inclusion of 300 gram bypass fat in the feed, you can see that 1 to 1.5% increment in the milk yield, as well as you can see 0.5 minimum fat. So these are things that actually bring value to the dairy when you have an inclusion of bypass fat. Of course, bypass fat, when you check, most of the farmers even they use raw form bypass fat when they have availability from the oil palm meal, when they can get direct. Even to say beef industry, for example, they even at the moment they are very dependable with oil palm sludge. Oil palm sludge actually is a byproduct of the oil palm meal, but they can use that in the raw form without any kind of processing to feed this animal, and the animal actually sustain. They even have average daily gain like almost to 700 grams. You know, 700 grams actually is quite good because they never even treat the animals, they never even focus with the whole fundamental principle of feeding. They just take the oil palm sludge and feed them. So to say why I'm comparing with the beef industry, because oil palm actually give a lot of output in terms of feed. So for the dairy industry, we're looking into more complex or more complete feed to say. This means they should have a balanced feed. For the balanced feed, I think bypass fat inclusion into a TMR or even pelleted feed actually bring the value of the feed. And coming to the animals perform better. And again, when we talk about farmers, the farmer actually benefit more because they use a bit less expensive feed, but the animals perform as much as even they give a more proper, more complete feed. So of course you know that bypass fat is consists of palm stearin, and palm stearin actually when you talk in oil palm meal, most of oil palm meal able to produce the bypass fat. So the availability is there in Malaysia, and that actually is in terms of the process that conducted in the oil palm meal. It can come from cold press as well as extrusion. But whatever method is, when we take the bypass fat, of course you need to value or you need to observe the quality. But most of the oil palm meal they able to consistently produce a good quality oil palm bypass fat. So in terms of quality, I think we are there, and in terms of usage, I think the farmers are looking more intense to use bypass fat, and we benefit more because, like what I said, the animals are good, the farmers are profitable, as well as the industry is depending and is getting more and more, in terms of the percentage of usage. And when we look closely to the farmers in terms of how to go for the next level, we are looking into how the certain breed or certain dairy breed will benefit from bypass fat. So we're looking into research and development for this kind of aspect. Maybe in the future we'll have certain level of studies conducted with the collaboration with the university to highlight how much bypass fat can use for feed. So the study is going on, and maybe we'll come with something good for the dairy industry. And other than that, of course, many other available resources are there, but nothing as good as bypass fat, because even in the swine industry and poultry, there's some sort of bypass fat that's been used, even from oil palm base. But in dairy, of course, this is a breakthrough that we want to introduce bypass fat, so the dairy nutrition will be more complete with the usage of bypass fat. Of course, we're looking bypass protein as well as other things that need for betterment of the dairy as well as dairy breed English. So I guess that will wrap up the current usage of bypass fat, and of course in terms of how the government is looking, and of course the government is giving a lot of grants and this kind of fund for those companies that are actually working on bypass fat, because we want the whole industry to perform better as well as benefit directly or even indirectly to the livestock, especially with dairy, because dairy is something that we are going for next level. We want to produce more, and even at the moment we almost produce 20% of self-sufficient level in terms of liquid milk. So we want to move for further advancement. So for that, I think oil palm based, especially bypass fat, contribute for this kind of betterment as well as improvement. And Malaysia government, of course, we look through, we not only emphasize dairy, we are looking into beef as well, because beef, of course, the consumption is there. So bypass fat will be one of the elements that we were going to introduce to beef industry, but in a more processed way. It's not in a very crude way, but more processed way. So this industry also will benefit. And I think more study we have to fortune through, and maybe we can benefit. So with that, I wrap up my talk on the bypass fat, and